And we're live! What's up, everyone? We're at the auto shop. A lot of you guys know or don't know that I am restoring a truck. A 2000 Silverado Chevy, was it extended cab, half-ton, 4x4 truck. Me. Yes. I'm trying to use StreamYard. It's probably really glitchy. So let's see when you guys start coming into the chat. I hope it's not blurry. It probably is. Forgive me, people on the replay, but we're working with really limited, crappy Wi-Fi in this town in Texas that I live in. So we just got to work with what we're working with. So say hello, you guys, so I can see you coming into my live stream. Now, a lot of you guys don't know that I am the very first black chick pro skateboarder in the history of the sport. Now, typically not color of skin. I hope this is not blurring. Virtue signaling type of person. Say hello, guys. Let's see the comments show up. All right. I think it's coming in right now. Hey, Beth. I'm not that person who's a virtue signal about my color skin. Like, I don't even know my color skin until I go, ooh, I got a nice tan. That's about it. Okay. All right. Now, when I was younger, I identified with my skin color a lot, but now I kind of don't. Like, I don't have time. Thank you, Solo Priest. So, I'm gonna do an official. Let me know, you guys, if this is blurry. I hate that it's like, it seems like it keeps glitching. Good afternoon. I hope you're having a great day. Thank you, Jennifer. A lot of people who that follow me know that I have something to do with skateboarding, but you don't know that I was inducted into the Smithsonian Institute. Yes, guys, I'm going to do an official, do a video on it. I'm going to do like edits and show you my whole skateboard career. And it's something like really near and dear to my heart. A lot of you guys just know me as the Keto Guru, but you don't know how big I was. Yes, it's blurry. Is it super blurry or medium blurry? Let me see if I can pull it up on the phone. Alma's like, I'm asking everyone if it's blurry. She's like, oh yeah, it's blurry. Oh goodness. Blurry and glitchy. Aww. I think I'm gonna have to do a part 2 where I'm actually not blurry and glitchy. But I wanted to show you guys a video of me when I was like, I think I was medium blurry. I wanted to show you when I was skateboarding in Ireland, and I was living in Europe, and let's take a look at it. I'll probably do this video again when I actually have really good Wi-Fi, when I move to my property, because you guys know I put in an offer. They accepted my offer on my land. So now we're going through the closing process, and soon I'll have amazing Wi-Fi, and you guys will be able to see me. My sound is good. Well, okay, my sound is good. Hey, Superfin guy. Sorry, guys, that it's blurry. This shop is Wi-Fi. I thought I would get good Wi-Fi here, but I'm not. I probably get it better where I'm staying, to be honest. But let's take a video. Let's take a look at the video of me skateboarding. I think I was 22 here, and you can see I was like looking at this video of me. Somebody sent it to me on Instagram, which is Stephanie Ketogenic, and I'm in my DM, and I'm looking at the video. I'm like, damn, I look horrible. Like, you guys, I'm gonna see if I go through this door if the Wi-Fi signal gets better. Let's see. Let's check it out. Let's see, because I think the Wi-Fi is in here. I think. Let me grab some water too. I think the router's in here. Let's go check this out. I'm in an auto shop, you guys, so don't be tripping. If the signal gets any better. It's still crappy, ain't it? I was working, as you can see. That's my computer. And I thought I was like drinking. Let's see if the bars get better. The bars are not even getting better here. That's so bad. Can you guys hear or see me? It's not too bad. It's okay. All right. Well, let's go check out this video. Let's check it out. I'm gonna pull. Hold on one sec, guys. Let's check this out.
Equal with Gert Rieger and sure to put him straight through to the final.
Okay, I've caught up with Stephanie, who's the only female competitor in the whole event. Stephanie, how are you?
I'm just fine.
You're just fine.
Yeah.
Why did you take up skateboarding?
Because it was something really exciting for me, something different, and I had played team sports all through high school, and they were boring basically. And skateboarding was really exciting.
Why do you think you're the only woman skating in any of these European competitions?
Because basically the skateboarding scene doesn't push female skaters. It's a pity, but it's the truth.
What about street skating? You don't do any street skating?
Yeah, I do. But when I enter contests, I prefer to skate on ramp because you have to put a lot of energy to do both, and you can see the guys go for it.
Give me an idea of how much practice has to go into getting a good routine on the vert pipe.
Right now I'm staying in Germany, and they have an inside ramp there, and so I skate every day. But if I travel somewhere else, maybe I won't skate for another week or 2 weeks. It goes like that sometimes. So one day of training, you skate for about 2 hours. That's the max.
So will we ever see you going as high in aerials as Ryan or Yaki?
Skateboarding is an only mental sport. It has nothing to do with physicality at all. It has nothing to do with your body. When females get as much mental aggression as boys, then yeah, it's completely possible. Of course, girls can go 10 feet the same as boys, but when you're taught your whole life to be a flower, it's kind of hard. Yeah.
I'm sure you'll get there in the end. Thanks, Steph.
Okay, thank you.
Yoke Olsen, originally from Korea, now lives in Sweden.
Okay, let's bring me back. The signal is just so bad here. I'm so sorry, you guys. So that was me. I'm gonna have to redo this whole video.
All right, good morning, everybody. Saturday morning.
There goes my phone. Yeah, that was me in the 80s. I think I was in my 20s. You guys can see. Oh, Superfin guy goes, "You're hotter now." That's why people who are like, people who are often like missing the days where they felt, they looked younger. Sorry guys, that they looked younger and better when they were younger. No, I didn't. I looked like dark under the eyes. I just didn't look healthy at all. So yeah, life update is I got inducted into the Smithsonian Institute. It's kind of one of the biggest things I've ever done in my life. It's way beyond keto, carnivore, and all this stuff. Like all these, keto, carnivore gurus. Well, this stuff was a pro skateboarder. It was a big part of my life. I traveled all over the world, and I was not cute on Jax. I was not cute at all. So so that's part of my life update, is that I got inducted into the Smithsonian Institute. I was the first African-American pro female skater. And it's something that I'm proud of. There was no female divisions back in the day. It was just me and the boys. And so I've got a lot of stories. They originally were going to interview me for their book. But then after hearing my entire story, because I have crazy stories as a pro skateboarder. And after, this stupid Wi-Fi. After them interviewing me for the book, they decided to go ahead and just put me into the museum itself, because they're like, whoa, you were a badass back in the day. You were like, so yeah, that's the update, guys. and here I am trying to do a live video on something other than keto for 5 seconds, and it's blurry because I'm in this town and the Wi-Fi doesn't work anywhere. Now, I could have used my phone, but I couldn't have shown you the video of me skateboarding, which is what I wanted to do. As you guys can see, that was when I was around 22. Let's pull up at least a still of that. I was 20. Let me see if I can do it right here again. I was 22. And Let's see if I go back here. Let's see stuff back then. Oh God, look at that. Awful. My hair. What is going on with my hair? Hold on. Okay, there we go. It's blurry. I can see that it's blurry, but that's what I used to look like. Okay, so if I try to do that, you can kind of see this is me now. And here we go, stupid Wi-Fi. That is me then, over there. Right there. See that? If I go back like that. Actually, that's probably about this far away, right? There. This is me now. And that is me then. This is me now, right? Abs. And that is me then. So that's me around 22, and now I'm 54 going on 55. That emaciated look. Oh God. It's so funny, like you can make fun of yourself, but nobody can, or you can make fun of your mother, but nobody else can, type of thing. Have you ever considered coaching on skateboarding? I've used to coach all the time. I've actually, one summer did coaching with Tony Hawk. It was in Bourges, France, stupid freaking thing, Bourges, France, en français. And how do you think you will live? I don't know. That's a weird question. If we are not controlled by a bunch of robots and chemicals and garbage, hopefully a long time. But back in the day, time has been kind on you. No, I don't think the time has been kind on me because, you know, I've gone through the same crazy life as a lot of other people. But what I do think is that I woke up at the right age and started taking better care of myself. So you guys can see me now, and that's me then. Can I blow that image up of me bigger? So that's me then. But look at me. Stephanie was still swag, right? In the 80s. Look at the striped shirt. I had like a man's vest on. I was still sporting the style back in the day. What? I kind of feel like you should sell a monthly calendar with your pics. Oh God, no, that's gross. That's so narcissistic. So fabulous. Okay. But my skateboard career is quite an interesting one. The story, I've said a couple stuff stories. The year that I got a skateboard, I was 16, and my friend, my friend found a skateboard in her apartment complex, and I was like, I want to borrow it. So I go and I borrow this skateboard for 2 weeks, and I was obsessed. I would skate to. Sorry guys, the Wi-Fi's garbage. The nose of the board would. Hey Steph, hope all is well with you and your fur babies. Oh, thank you, Cleo. The nose of the board, if this is a skateboard, the nose was chewed up, the tail was chewed up, so you had this like middle, and I rode that thing every day. So my mother, she was saying, Stephanie, you're going to be turning 17 soon. What do you want for your birthday? And I said, I want a skateboard. And she said, no. I go, what do you mean no? You said I could have a skateboard. She said, you can have anything you want for your birthday as long as it's under $200. And I said, I want a skateboard. You said under $200. It's under $200. And she said, fine. She goes, don't you want a dress? I go, no, Mom. I want a skateboard. So we went to the skate shop in Los Gatos, California, because I'm originally from California. And I'll never forget, it said, like, there's, like, I remember there was a sign at the counter, and it said, there's no embarrassing question, ask anything. There's no question that would be considered embarrassing, because I was so embarrassed that I didn't know anything about boards. My first board was a Tony Hawk, right? So when I actually met Tony Hawk and became friends with Tony Hawk, it was like a total trip. It was a trip back in the 80s. Yeah. So that was my first skateboard. And what ended up happening was every day after school, I would take a bus to that skate shop and skate with the guys. And I will be braggadocious now. I was really good. I was really, 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 really good. And I would keep up with them. I would straight up keep up with them. And they were like, damn. So the shop sponsored me. And with that shop sponsored, I was able to enter Tony Hawk's dad's skateboard series. It was called Castle, which is the California Amateur Skateboard League at that time. And I was able to enter it as a sponsored skater. And from there, I just kept picking up skaters. Sorry, guys, for all the glitches. But our truth. I thought I would talk about something that's more personal. People are like, I want to see what you eat in a day. Or I was going to do a video on your kidney function, but I'm going to do that in a later video. I don't know the whole point of your life today is to show everyone how you've basically stopped aging drastically, slow down your aging process. It's a legitimate question. I don't know what kind of question is that? I don't know the whole point of your life today is to show everyone you're basically stop aging. No, it's to show that I skateboarded. What you talking about? My research has revealed people living as long as 200 years plus. They're all kind of people on the internet. Talvish, I'm really good, Talvish. I'd love to see somebody be 200 years and older. Lord have mercy. Always proud of Black women breaking barriers, open doors for women, girls coming up after them. And typically, our truth, I'm not like, because I just don't like the color of skin virtue signaling these days. I really don't. I try to like stay away from it. But in this case, it's just because it's so rare that a Black woman was skateboarding in those years and becoming pro, and to be the first one, that's what's significant. So Mr. or Miss Kwaku, this is not about an anti-aging video, so you're just taking it really dumb. You're taking the message wrong. It was about me my skateboard career. Hello. Oh, I don't either, but we can't ignore the truth. It's, what is it? My oldest was also born in 1967. She just turned 55. Oh, really? Your oldest? How old are you, Talvish? Dang. Oh, wait. Doris. See, our truth says that, I guess she doesn't talk about being Black, but we can't ignore the truth. Oh, she's saying she doesn't talk about being Black, but she doesn't ignore the truth. It's a beautiful thing. Yeah. So, to be honest, we do need people to inspire us, no matter what the genre might be. I mean, this could have been an anti-aging video, but it's not. I just am. I wish this Wi-Fi would freaking stop being annoying. Oh my goodness. Oh, your oldest sibling. I thought you meant your oldest child. My oldest sibling? He's 2 years older, and I'm 54. Talk more about what happened in the skate shop. Okay. Oh God. I have a lot of stories. Okay, I can tell you a story. So I had a friend. So I grew up in California. I was born in Los Angeles, and my family moved up to the Bay Area. And this is where I went to the skate shop and all of that. And there was a guy, I should not call out his name, but the movie Back to the Future, they had two stunt guys doing for Michael J. Fox. They were doing the stunt work for him being on that air skateboard. And so it wasn't him, obviously, it was the stunt guys. And one of the guys was dating my friend. And he was kind of geeky looking in those years, but he was really good at skateboarding. And I remember he was like so enamored by it. Now, mind you, I went to an all-white school, which is why I sound like a white girl when I talk. Okay, I'm fabulous. Oh my God. And the school that I went to, yeah, was all white. So of course my friends were white. And she, and that's how I got into skateboarding, because it was at the time a white sport. But then I found my blackness, and I was like, this for like my early 20s, and now I don't give a shite. But back then in the 80s, she and I were going to like punk rock shows and going up to the city, to San Francisco, going to shows and seeing like PIL and Black Flag, and we saw a ton of punk bands back in the day. And there was a club in Santa Cruz, California called Club Culture, and we were going to go there. So she's like, I know, we can, like, let's ask Bob, because we were still in high school. We didn't have cars. We didn't drive then. She's like, we can get Bob to drive us, because he was older. And so she's like, we three-wayed, right? Because that was right when you could three-way. So she three-wayed him, and he didn't know I was on the other line. And she goes, hey, Bob, like, what are you doing? And he's like, oh, I'm getting ready to go to Upland, California, for a skate competition. And she goes, oh, darn. And he goes, why? Oh, I wanted to know if you wanted to take us to Club Culture in Santa Cruz to go see a punk show. Because like back in the day, I was into ska and like Selector and the Beat and all this kind of stuff. And so we went to go to Club Culture. We wanted to go to Club Culture and have him drive us, but he was going to this competition. I'll answer that question, Sparkly One. So in a second. So he goes, no, I'm going down to Upland, California. And he goes, oh, by the way, I can't say her name. I'm not going to. I know you have to work this weekend. So Steph, do you want to come down to Upland? Because I know you skateboard. And she kind of just hung out with skaters. And I can take you down to this competition. And I was like, are you serious? He's like, yeah. I'm like, let me ask my mom. I said, Mom, I'll be missing school on Monday, but can I go down with Bob? Anyway, I almost said his name. And she said, yeah, go ahead. So he took me down, and we drove down, and he stopped the car. It was a VW bus. And he stopped the car, and he was like, hey, how's it going? Blah, blah, blah. He was just talking to this dude. And he says, Tony. And I went to the window. I was in the back seat. He was like, is that Tony Hawk? Oh, my God. That's Tony Hawk. I have a skateboard. Oh, my God. I have a skateboard. And we went, sat inside, and sat in the VIP section. And then Tony sat down with us. And that was the first time I ever met Tony Hawk. But then after that, I was a part of the whole skateboard series, and I got more sponsored. And then I went to the World's Fair. They used to have the World's Fair every year in Canada. And there I really got to know Tony, because we were there for like 5 days. We would skate at this cement bowl place, and he'd sit next to me, and we'd talk every day. So there's a fun fact story. Now, that story with this guy on that trip is a much bigger story that I don't want to tell when the whole freaking live stream is blurry. But I got a lot of stories that are like dangerous and crazy and gnarly. Now, mind you, when I was in high school, I went to an all-white school, so no guy wanted to date the black girl. Plus, I look like that in that picture you see over there. Oh, look how awful I look. Oh my God, that's just a nightmare. But I had some clothing swag in the 80s at 22. What? Okay, let's put me back here. Okay, so yeah, I got a lot of stories. I've got stories of guys trying to like army, let's say grape me in hotel rooms, and being chased down the street, and getting in fights, and like getting huge sponsors and getting on television and all this kind of stuff. So I have a lot of stories in my life as a female skateboarder and a black female skater at that. So I'm sorry, guys, for it being blurry. It just is what it is. We can't do nothing about it. So let's just deal with the blurriness. Yeah, there's Italians, but Italians are white people. What you talking about? they white, especially in northern Italy. So anyway, yes, I made it to the live show. Oh, cool. Okay, cool. So back in the day, I was like very shy, and then I came out of my shell, and then I was almost always defending myself. So it was, so Sparkly One says, how did you deal with hanging out with mostly guys only throughout your skateboarding career? Yes. Were they respectful and did they watch out for you? Some did, most didn't. I've been in fights. I've been in a lot of fights. I got so many fight stories you don't even know. I was like, my brother used to, like, oh, my brother used to beat the crap out of me. Well, my brother used to beat the crap out of me. So and he's a big dude. So if I wasn't afraid of my brother, then I was afraid of nobody. And my mom either, because my mom was not having it. She's like, what'd you say? What did you say? Don't you look at me like that, because y'all don't know what it's like to have black mother, like not the same as a white mother. I remember when I was in high school, one of my girlfriends, female friends, told her mother to go F off. And I was just like, hey, sorry guys. I said that to my mom, I would have a permanent, no, I wouldn't even have this. I'd probably have this, knuckles on my face. No, you don't do that. So when I was skateboarding, I was so used to being around the guys, I kind of liked it because I was always the only girl, always. I didn't want another girl. I had fun. I was like a dude. You should hear me in that interview. Listen to me talk. I sound like a guy. I was like, oh my mom was so triggered by it too. She was just like, get your hands out of your pocket. I would sit and I would walk like this. I would walk around with my hands in my pockets and do all of that. But I always had style. Yes, I did. I had those like Jody Watley big ass earrings. What have you done for me lately? No, that's Janet Jackson. But anyway, so no, I actually kind of like being the only girl. It was really fun because I was such a tomboy, and they usually like black girls. No, not in the 80s, honey, or the Italians. Anyway, I have a story about Italy too. Oh my God, I have so many stories, you guys. I'll say this real story and then I should probably stop and shut up because I've got more work to do. You guys know, run a course page. You know, I'm a ketogenic coach and carnivore and low carb, high fat, and I'm 54 going on 55 and all that stuff. But the first time I went to Italy, I heard that there was this huge ramp in Rome. And so I just took a train there, right, from Germany. I took a train to Rome. And I was like, back in the day, you could just have that camaraderie and see another skateboarder. You love my stories. Thank you, Gabby, I think. No, I love your stories. How did you get to Sweden? Oh, I went to, because when I toured for 5 years out of a suitcase doing skateboard shows and doing skateboard shows, competitions, openings for shops, all that kind of stuff. It was like the best time in my life. Like if I could go back, I would, because that was a blast. Not to be in my 20s again, but just having so much fun before the internet. This was all before the internet. And I got to Sweden because when you skateboard, you're like a big family. Everybody knows everybody. Like if you go to a competition in Switzerland or Italy or in Spain or in Germany or Holland or Belgium or England, you all meet up. It was so much fun. We all would meet up and we were like a big family. And somebody asked me if I ever fell in love. No, I was a virgin, you guys, until I was 24. Yep. And I was a virgin until I was 24 because so many boys, I went from high school of these white kids, white boys being too afraid to try to even like the black girl. Like there was no way. But the day I graduated from high school, right? And I put on a dress and I put my hair out. And like everybody was like, oh, Stephanie's in a dress. Oh my God. Oh my God. She's in a dress. And it was like, they literally treated me different the day that I went to my high school graduation. But the day I graduated, I went skateboarding that night. I threw off that dress and we went and skated to Montague Banks at night up in NorCal. And the boys loved that I was so good at it. They really, really loved that I was so good at skateboarding. So for the first time I had guys like flirting with me and I didn't even know what to do with it. And like when you're a girl, guys will go from like kissing you to like ripping your pants down like in 5 seconds. You're like, whoa, whoa, whoa. You're like pulling the pants back up, like, hold on. And I knew as a strong female that I wasn't going to have somebody just take my virginity like that. I just knew that I wanted it to be more special. And that's the reason why I held off until I was 24. Because I knew I wasn't going to be about that. We ain't doing it that way. No, I'm not a plastic blow-up doll for you. Tall. So no, I did not fall in love with any. I had like small crushes on certain skaters, but I didn't like fall in love with any of them because they were all like really disgusting, really gross. Skaters would develop a thing called rut rash, and that means that they would skate in their knee pads and sweat so much that they developed fungal infections on their pads, and they would have fungal rashes on their knees. They would smell like stinky cheese. No, they were gross, those guys, those skater guys. Oh my goodness. So how I got to Sweden was I met a lot of Swedish skaters, and the first time I went to Denmark, I'll tell this story really quick, you guys. I have so many stories. So the first time I went to Europe, the very first time, I'd met all the skaters in California on the skateboard series of All Up and Down. So they had like Pro and Am together, the Pro series, and then the Castle series. Tony Hawk's dad, his name was Frank Hawk. They ran that whole skateboard series. People often ask me if Tony Hawk was that good. Tony Hawk's like the Michael Jordan of skateboarding, like period. Like he is that good. It's not just a video game. Sweetest guy, sweetest, like the most sweet guy ever. But what ended up happening, let me see. So the first time I went to Europe, I felt like I was in a movie because like I'd never been that far away. And I arrived to Stuttgart, Deutschland. So I arrived to Stuttgart, Germany. And the skaters I had met in California, I stayed with them. Oh my God, there's so many stories. I can't even go. But anyway, after the German skate, all the German two guys were like fighting for me. And like, it was two German skaters. And like one guy, I knew the one guy from, I knew both of them, but I really knew the one guy. I ended up staying with him at his place after that German competition. We went from Stuttgart to Essen, and another guy was like, oh, you can stay with me. You don't have to stay with this guy. And I was like, well, you're acting nicer than the first guy that I knew. So I stayed with the second guy who I didn't know well. And it turns out that they were dating the same black girl in the 80s. And guy A was dating a black girl, and guy B stole that girl and he took her. So he was trying to get guy A back for that whole thing. And I found all that out later. But after I found that all out, I was like, I'm out of here. I ended up going to Denmark, and I got on a train, and I don't remember. It was like, I don't know. It was like, if I'm from Stuttgart, it was like a 15-hour train ride or something to Copenhagen, Denmark, Baden-Gouda, Degofit, like I've been to all these countries, so I speak a little bit of all these languages. So I'm on the train to Denmark, and I was so exhausted, I fell asleep. And the next day when I woke up, the people in my train compartment said, how did you like the boat ride? And I was like, what you talking about, Willis? They're like, the boat ride. And I'm like, we weren't on a boat. They're like, yes, dummy, yes. A train, half of it goes on the boat, the other half dislodges and goes back to Germany. and then the front part goes on the boat, and then the train's on the boat, and the boat carries it over to the island of Denmark. And I didn't know that. So I was a dumb American that didn't know anything about the world. So but I've got crazy stories. I got scary stories. I got embarrassing stories. I got stories for days. Let me see. I remember skateboarding being popular back in the 70s, but kind of faded. Yes. So it died because a lot of skate parks were being sued by parents. They couldn't afford the insurance. Then it came back in the 80s. So I was the 80s next generation. So the first generation was like Dogtown, like Tony Alva, Stacy Peralta, all those like Jay Adams and all these like Dogtown guys up in Venice, California. Also, for anybody who follows skateboarding who knows Christian Hosoi, that was a whole another story with Christian Hosoi. He's like a famous skater, and I was in the car with him and his dad, and he kept calling his dad bro, and I was like, "Is that your dad or your brother?" He's like, "Are you dumb? That's my dad. I just call him bro." Anyway, let me see, because popular again in the mid 90s, at least where I live. No, skateboarding died in 1996. It just died. It died. They were talking about doing skateboarding in the Olympics back then, but it died. Then it came back towards the 2000s, right? But then I busted my knee and I had 10 surgeries on my left knee. Denmark? Okay, yeah, so I had 10 surgeries on my left knee, which took me out, and I stayed in Europe, and I fell off the skateboard map, and people are like, whatever happened to Stephanie and all this stuff? Yeah, she's back because I'm in the Smithsonian Institute. That's what's up. Okay, I bet Denmark is very beautiful. It's kind of flat, not really, but Copenhagen, the city, man, before the Blue Smurfs took a hold of that city, yo, Copenhagen is the shit. Christiania, oh my God, the bomb. One of my favorite places ever, because back in the day we had no internet. The kids were wearing cutoff jeans, ripped shirts, and like with some low top chucks, and just beautiful kids, beautiful. Steph, I am from EU and I always miss your lives because I sleep then. I apologize to ask this live, but I always wanted to ask you, what do you think about nutritional yeast? Is it good for keto? People say it's got B complex in it, but why eat nutritional yeast when you can have liver, which has a really good size, a good amount of B12 in it, plus other red meats. And a lot of people have a histamine reaction to nutritional yeast. Tastes a little bit like cheese. Vegans like to use it to make their foods taste like cheese. If you're not having a histamine reaction to it, just don't dump a lot on it, a lot of nutritional yeast on your food, because it is high in carbohydrates. The sweet lady says, hello, blessings to you. Never. Sorry, everyone, for the blurry live. It is. So everybody in the replay, do not complain. I know it's blurry, but I live in a small town where the Wi-Fi sucks. And this is supposed to be fiber optic at the shop. Okay. I don't know if I got you wrong, Kwaku, but you made some comment about, like, I don't know why you're doing this. I don't know if I took you wrong or not, but thank you for watching my channel. Always proud of Black being breaking barriers. Yes. I've had the weirdest experiences being Black in this town, to be honest, because it's a very Mexican and white population. They don't hang out with each other at all, like at all. So when I would be with the like Mexicanos and the Hispanic people, because they like to be called Hispanic and some call us Mexicanos, they're all like, white people be like, right? And then when I'm with the white people, they be like, Mexicano wives be like, and I'll be like, y'all need to work it out. There's like 3 Black people in this town. I'm like, this town is weird. It is a weird town. But most people have been nice. I've had some really bad experiences with some of the places I've stayed, really bad. But now, when I'm at the place that I'm at now, it's been amazing. See. What was your food like then? I ate, you know what? I hated the roles between men and women when I was in high school. my mom made me like do the laundry, take out the do the laundry, clean the kitchen, and clean the kitchen every day. My brother only had to take out the trash once a week and like mow the lawn once a month. I was like, that's not fair, Mom. And she was like, and it bothered me so much that my brother didn't have to do much. And then I had to do all these female things. And I was so athletic. I was like, I didn't want to learn. I didn't want to learn how to cook. I didn't want to learn how to iron. I didn't want to learn how to do anything. So the year that I left home, I didn't even know how to cook rice. I mean, it was bad. So once I did, I would stay with people that would cook, and I would try to copy their meals. So if I cook something, I like to cook like rice and like lentils and beans with some vegetables or something like that. But if I wasn't eating that, I was eating a lot of they have a lot of bread, fresh bakeries in Europe, and the cheese, especially Dutch and Danish cheese, is off the friggin' hizzy with that fresh bread. Oh my God. I had a consultation with a woman yesterday who's from Paris, and I was talking about my Paris experience, first time I went to Paris, or the croissants that they sell there, and there's like chocolate in the middle, and I was like, were you ever close to marriage? Nah. I knew that if I ever got married, that person would be like, I'd hear like the heavens and the violins and the stars, and that person would be like my everything. And I just kept meeting guys who weren't that amazing. Here I am when I was a professional skateboarder, okay, pro skater, and the stuff that I did as a pro skater was the first time people ever did anything. I used to be sponsored by Santa Cruz Skateboards, and that's a whole nother story. How I got it, how I got my whole trip paid to Europe, and how the team guys were getting really jealous because the owner of You cannot make up how bad this connection is. I'm so sorry, guys. But it is what it is. People on the replay, please do not complain. I know it sucks. So no, I was never close to marriage. I never met anybody that really was like amazing. And I knew that if I ever were to get married, he would be my forever guy, period. The kind of music that I listen to, sorry, I've been to Africa. I've been to Africa many times. In fact, you guys know I have Africa stories. I went to Tanzania, East Africa, Karibu Sana, Jambo, I went there by myself before the internet. Oh my God. I didn't even read a book on East Africa. That trip, that 2 months in Africa is a whole nother chapter of my life. Okay. That's a crazy. I hate this Wi-Fi. I'm sorry, guys. So yes, I've been to Africa many times. Can you do sometimes video on how to be careful while traveling alone as a woman and had bad experiences, what to be aware of? Yeah, you got to be, I was one of those young girls who didn't trust anything. I had a friend who got R'd, let's say graped, but with an R, while getting off of a bus that we were out, and we were in like junior high school. I was in Africa. I was in South Africa this time. And I was in a black area. I didn't think about it. I had a gold chain on, like here, that my mother gave me. And this dude he was like, excuse me. And I was like, yeah. And he saw the gold chain, and he tried to grab the chain like this. And I was like, in nanoseconds, I saw him reach for my neck, and I went, bam, like this. Poof. To his face. I connected with his face, and I said, I'm not even lying. Hi guys, yes, I am feminine sometimes, but I said, I'm an LAB, don't mess with me, son. come and try to do that again. Come on now. Don't you mess with me, B. Like, come on. Take off my earrings, fool. You ain't gonna mess with me. And he was like, he was so shocked. And I clocked that sucker so hard in the face that he almost fell back. But he didn't get my gold chain that my mother gave me. No, he didn't. I'm a tough girl. And I'm not easily, I don't scare easily. The only thing that scares me is if my husband, my fur baby husband, child Thunder, if anything were to happen to him, I would be beside myself. Sorry, guys. That's what I'm worried about. So, but I can do a video on how to be safe while traveling and just what I did to be safe, because I was in really, especially my first time in Africa, and I was in a small village called Sinza in Tanzania in East Africa. And, you know, I remember, you guys, it was the early 90s. And I had a shirt that was like this, right? I had like, and they were looking at me like I was a hoe. And I was like, oh my God, I'm so embarrassed. So I was like, I found the biggest t-shirt and I wore that t-shirt day. Anyways, thank you, Percent Crypto. Music, what kind of music do I like? I don't like everything. But okay, so I grew up as a skateboarder and also like listening to things like ska and like Bob Marley. And then my parents would listen to, like, my stepdad and my mom were listening to like all that 70s music. Like, oh, my stepdad was listening to Cat Stevens and I just remember listening to those Cat Stevens albums. And then when I was really young, my mom and my dad, they were listening to God, what's his name? He does day, oh, daylight come and me wanna go home. Day, me say day, me say day, me say day, me say day. God, what's his name? I love that song. I remember listening to that as a kid, and also, you know, this songs from the early 70s. God, they were amazing. They would talk about life and stuff. But I would never want to be in my 20s again, because you guys see how horrible I looked in my 20s. Oh my God. I would never want to be in my 20s again. I'm good with me being in my mid 50s. I'm good. I've got to live a life without friggin' menstrual pads, thin menstrual pad liners on my face with ear straps. I was able to live a good life. I was able to live a very good life. I went to Africa as an experience being Black and almost had it was dangerous. That first time, oh my God, you guys, I have so many stories from that first trip to Africa. I went to Zanzibar by myself, and I was originally staying in this town, in village. First time I arrived to the village, I took a taxi. It was like 45 minutes to, no. Yeah, Sinza was the village I was in, and I took a taxi from Dar es Salaam. And I took a taxi there, and I stayed at a guest house, like $5 a day. There was no running water. You had a bucket, right? You had a bucket, and there was a cup, and you got, oh man, there's a wasp in here. I mean, not, what? Really? Let me let this wasp out. Go on now. Sorry, guys. My husband's at home on 30 acres. Anyway, I took a taxi to Sinza, and it was at night. And by the time, when the day came, there was all these women with like big, huge buckets on their head. And they were balancing these huge buckets. And they were like this. This ain't mine, by the way. They were like this. And they were huge, right? And they had no shoes on. They made $1 a day. It was crazy. Yes, it was a yellow jacket. It had stripes. When they have this, when the wasps have stripe on the tail, you better run, son. And when I get stung by bees and wasps, I swell like massive. I even got stung by one of those the fire ants, and my whole hand swelled up. And the owner of the property is like, "Dang, you're really sensitive to insect bites." And I'm like, "It's not a good look." All right, guys, we are going on 2:36. I got to make it to the gym. Sorry for the bad quality. I just wanted to do an update about me being a pro skater. I will show that video again when I get better freaking video quality. I'll actually just edit it in a video. It's just I've been so busy to do video editing right now. What would you do as a job if you didn't have your YouTube channel and Instagram? I don't know, something amazing. I'm always going to do something amazing. Probably, I was working as a photographer before. Probably work as a photographer or work in the film industry because I was living in Hollywood. I actually made a movie. Somebody asked about the movie. That's another long story that we made a movie on my life where skinheads try to beat me up as a pro skater. Yeah. And now I was like, no, I don't even want to have that movie come out. And they're like, why not? And I'm like, because of all the race virtue signaling. They're like, that's the reason. Because at the end of talking to these skinheads, they did listen to me, and it's a good story in my life. I'll tell it one day. But I did the project with a girl, and she kept the footage, and it just became a legal mess, and blah blah blah. You need a part 2. Okay. Now, did you guys have any questions about health before I go? Because I'm about to beat this awful glitching, but good audio, glitching, fuzzy live stream. Probably not. I will do my next one all on health. In fact, I'm going to release a video. On the kidney function and all of that, and how not to become chronically dehydrated and mess your biliary duct system on a ketogenic carnivore protocol. Yes. Thank you, everyone, for joining this live, and I'm officially out. Can you advise on vertigo? Vitiligo. Yes. Did I say vertigo? That's me trying to hurry. Yes, we need kidney function. Yes. Vitiligo is something they haven't figured out yet. Probably some autoimmunity. I would definitely do a keto/carnivore protocol to see. I've never worked with it. I would love to work with somebody with vitiligo to see if you can get the inflammatory markers down to stop the pigment from your melanocytes from losing their melanin. Auto disease, please. I do a lot. I will talk more about autoimmunity, and kidney function is very important, and liver function when you're doing anything low carb. Speaking on that, I need to drink some water myself. Thank you, everyone, for today's live. I got some energy. Wait, we got to do the energy thing, right? I got some energy. At 54, going on 55, almost 15 years on keto and count. This live stream blurry sucks. Don't forget to like the stream. Thank you, everybody, for joining this live, and I'm officially out.